In Scotland, which was peaceful in 2008, an unknown death virus appears in the world.
It just happens.
Then in just a few days, the all of Scotland was eroded by the virus. That was the beginning of the Reaper virus. The British government ordered a blockade on Scotland. All roads are blocked by the military, so all the people who were evacuating to avoid infection are trapped there. A 30-foot wall is built to lock them up, and the huge wall is completely closed and Scotland eventually is isolated. Meanwhile, her mother desperately asks the last helicopter to take Sinclair away.
We have to go now!
Fortunately, Sinclair was able to go with them because of an eye injury. Scotland has been completely isolated with the Reaper virus for 27 years. During that time, nothing could came out or entered there. Sinclair, the only survivor out of the wall, now has working for the government.
Targets are in play.
Start recording. The city, I want him alive.
Your call.
Major Sinclair was trained to perform dangerous tasks such as clearing drug cartel, and complete the mission with high-tech artificial eye instead of injured right eyes.
Drop the gun! Get back! I'm ordering you not to shoot, Sinclair!
Another agent's head explodes right in front of her, but she doesn't panic and complete the mission neatly. A few days later, while on another mission, agents find bodies there that is rotten and stinky.
Get back!
The Reaper virus, which has been hidden the existence for 27 years, reappears in London.
Were threatening to flood.
Meanwhile, Sinclair's boss and domestic security chief Captain Nelson receive confidential command from Canaris. The British government believed there were no survivors in the quarantine area, but when they checked satellite photos, they found survivors. And it is a huge opportunity to possibly get a cure for the Reaper virus, so Nelson prepares to assemble agents to infiltrate in quarantine areas.
When the gates were closed, he was trapped inside
Major
the
Sinclair and his men were chosen to rescue Britain, and what they must find is Dr. Kane. In that wide area where the whole of Scotland is a quarantine zone, looking for one person is like looking for a needle on a beach.
And you needn't bother coming back.
The wall that has isolated Scotland for 27 years is open for the first time, and the world beyond the wall they saw it is like ruins.
Our time has run out.
The first place they arrived in the quarantine area is an empty hospital.
Right. If anything happens, you get behind me quick. Understood?
But there are no traces, let alone survivors.
Some evidence of Kane's work. I'll know when I see it.
Then a survivor approaches him while another agent is waiting outside alone. Sinclair orders to never contact, but he doesn't listen and go out.
Keep her in sight, but do not approach her.
Sinclair, get back inside now! She needs help, Reed! Look at her!
It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Whoa!
All right, let's get her inside.
And that moment, marauders hiding in the hospital suddenly attack the agents. One of the agents was killed by them, but unable to handle the constant influx of marauders, so they begin to run away from the den.
We're rolling!
While the agent is being distracted by a really hot welcome, the girl he just saved comes from behind and aims at his neck. But even at the moment of death, he leaves a bomb as a present. And other agents are also killed one by one in the primal attacks of the marauders.
What about Reed?
She's dead.
This shit, man! Fuck it!
They came to the quarantine zone to save the world from the Reaper virus, but were beaten by those who hated the British government for letting them die in isolation.
Savages!
Eventually the remaining agents and Sinclair are taken to their den. It's a place where only marauders who enjoy cannibals gather.
This one's for Saul.
Then Sinclair meets Saul, the leader of the marauders.
But if you keep going on like this... Who are you?
And she learns from Saul that he knows Dr. Kane. However, Saul thinks Sinclair is a spy sent by Kane, so there is no chance that he will help her.
If Kane's alive, I need to find him.
Moreover, even the location tracker, which was the only hope, is destroyed.
is blowing a hurricane!
Elsewhere, savage parties are held. The meat-hungry cannibals madly praise Saul because the agents they capture are luxury food for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, medium fucking rare!
And immediately one of the agents is chained and dragged out and burned alive. Then all the cannibals rush in and start devouring him without a trace. So the terrible party is over.
If you're hungry, why not try a piece of your friend?
What do I have to do to get a drink?
Sinclair could escape while the marauders ridicule her.
And turn it.
Wait, get me out of here and I can help you. I can help you find Kane.
That moment,
Look out!
with the help of the girl, Sinclair avoided a sudden attack. Then with their fantastic teamwork, they finish Saul's second-in-command Viper.
Meet us at the station on Queen Street.
After escaping from there, Sinclair and Callie run to the train station to meet the living agents.
Joshua, it's okay. You can trust her. If you can hear me, platform 4.
However, they fail to completely escape from the marauders and they catch up to the train station. And after the sacrifice of many agents, she succeeds in finding a clue to track down Dr. Kane. The girl Sinclair rescued is actually the daughter of Dr. Kane. Besides, Sinclair learns that Saul, the leader of the marauders, is Kane's son. They were passing through the deep mountains, but then they heard the sound of horses' hooves from afar. The being that appeared in front of them is Kane's subordinate.
Every day? Sergeant, put down your weapon. We need to get to Kane the quickest way possible, and this is it.
And the agents immediately surrender and go to his castle, where Dr. Kane created a new world in this quarantine area and is reigning as Lord.
He came over the wall. We want to see Kane.
Finally, Sinclair meets Dr. Kane. Now, if she learns only Reaper virus cure from him, all this nightmare will end, but unlike what they expected, Dr. Kane tells them a very frustrating fact.
But there is no cure. There never was through natural selection. Survival of the fittest.
Sinclair is furious when she hears that they are immune to the virus, but here is Kane's castle, so Kane immediately puts Sinclair in prison. Meanwhile, in London at this time, the whole city has been conquered by infected people who have turned violent.
It's time to get you out, Prime Minister.
And they even raid where Canaris and Nelson are. Then Nelson shoots to save the Prime Minister, but ends up infected. Blood splashes on Hatcher.
Isolate him.
Canaris!
Canaris isolates Hatcher without hesitancy even though he is his superior. Dr. Kane, who was a researcher 27 years ago, lost his wife to a virus and is then quarantined here. From then on, his mind is going and now became a king who thirsted for power. Making Sinclair fight a knight wearing iron armor was like being thrown to death. But Sinclair, the female warrior, runs away and seeks a chance. And then, thanks to the stupid crowd, Sinclair gets a weapon and overpower the knight.
I'll tell you what I've lost. I lost my bloody mind.
Execute the prisoners, now!
After winning the battle, with the sound of an explosion, her friends escape and come to help her. They get out of the medieval feel of the castle and head straight to the secret bunker with the help of Callie, who knows the place well. And arriving at the bunker, they find something amazing there. That is intact 2007 Bentley Continental GT.
I'll take it.
I'll get those blast doors open.
They straight throw away the 1-horsepower Ferrari and get a Bentley. However, Agent fails to get into the car to open the bunker door and is shot by an arrow by Kane's men. Eventually he dies after completing his mission, so among the agents who came to the quarantine area, Sinclair is left alone.
Nelson?
We got the package, we're on our way.
You still want your prize, then follow this signal.
The persistent chase of Saul and his men do not stop.
I'm tired of running from these bastards. Hold on.
Sinclair finished the Marauders with amazing driving skills, but the real thing was waiting for them. And then their Mad Max hunting the Bentley Continental GT begins. Saul jumps into the Bentley, which is running on the road, and the fight spread like a family fight between Saul and Callie. While they are swamped with fighting, a large bus was blocking the end of the road, but nevertheless Sinclair pressed the accelerator harder. Finally, the endless chasing game is over, with leave the lesson that Bentley is so powerful. Then what Sinclair brought to senior official Canaris is not a complete cure but Kelly, who has immunity to the Reaper virus, but Sterling does not know that yet.
We'll take it from here.
Sterling, bring her out.
Sinclair was reluctant to pass Kelly to Canaris because he is full of corruption, but she need to save England at the cost of a single victim was the first priority.
Go with them. I've done my job.
A lot of good people died for this.
Now take her and go. I suppose you got a cigarette?
Come with me. I'll get you all the cigarettes you want.
Thus Sinclair had completed all the missions, and this long story seemed to end, but there was one most important thing left for her to do.
All the evidence you'll need to bring Canaris down.
She has been recording Canaris' plan to gain power by using a virus with her artificial eye, and together with her boss Nelson, she tells the world about Canaris' vicious end. After that, Sinclair returns to the Marauders' den, and shows them Saul's death in front of them. In the end begins a new life in her hometown of Scotland.
If you're hungry, try a piece of your friend.
Thank you for watching Movie Goes Movie Recap. Next time, if you want to watch fun and various movie recaps, please subscribe and like.